In our top stories of the week, President Yoweri Museveni has made changes in the police high command, naming from Director of Counter-Terrorism Abasi Byakagaba as the new Inspector General of Police and James Ochaya as the Deputy Inspector General of Police. The changes had led to the recalling of several UPDF members from the police, with the exception of AIGP Brigadier Christopher Damlida, the Crime Intelligence Director, and AIGP Tom Magambo, the Criminal Investigations Director. The recalled UPDF officers included Major General Tumusiime Katsigazi, the former Deputy IGP, and Brigadier General AIGP Godfrey Goloba, who has been the Director of Human Resource Development. Ike Bankawa reports.
Reassigned senior officers in the Uganda Police Force, as confirmed by the Deputy Presidential Press Secretary Farouk Chirunda through his Twitter handle. Assistant Inspector General of Police Abbas Byakagaba has been appointed as the new Uganda Police Chief, replacing Martin Okoth Ochola, whose tenure had expired. Byakagaba previously served as the Director of Counter-Terrorism at the Uganda Police Force, where he was responsible for investigating, disrupting and responding to terrorist incidents in Uganda. Working with other security agencies, Byakagaba has been instrumental in dismantling ADF terrorist cells nationwide and arresting key suspects involved in criminal activities.
Well, this is the room where these ADF people have been storing their things. As you can see, these are quite many of them. This is like a storage facility for the activities they have been conducting.
He brings extensive experience and knowledge in security operations, having undergone specialized training in counterterrorism in the United States. Senior Commissioner of Police David Waswa has been appointed the new Police Counterterrorism Director, a position previously held by Byakagaba. Assistant Inspector General of Police James Ochaya has been named the new Deputy Inspector General of Police, replacing Major General Tumusiime Katsigazi, who has been recalled to the UPDF for redeployment. AIGP James Ochaya was formerly the Director of Research and Planning in the Uganda Police and played a key role in assessing police operations for strategic development, including the construction of police posts across the country.
So for us now, what we are planning now to do is to gauge our response at the time of receipt of the information. We clock it so that if we get any complaint of delay, then we go backwards and say, yes, what time did you receive this information?
Senior Commissioner of Police Moses Kafero has been appointed the new Human Resources Director, replacing Brigadier Godfrey Goloba, who returns to the UPDF. Senior Commissioner of Police Frank Mwesigwa has been appointed the new Police Operations Director, replacing AIGP John Nwajira, who has been appointed the new Field Force Unit's Commandant. Other changes include the reposting of AIGP Kali Ali Fadi as head of the Field Force Unit to the Directorate of Fire Prevention and Rescue Services as the Director, replacing AIGP Joseph Mugisa. These latest changes have seen almost all UPDF officers in the police force removed, with the exceptions of AIGP Christopher Damlida, the Crime Intelligence Director, and AIGP Tom Magambo, the Criminal Investigations Director. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
Police in Busia district are holding 12 family members, including 3 weeks baby, who rejected to be enumerated in the ongoing National Population and Housing Census. Wandera Collins, they enumerated together with Chiwanuka Ben LC1 chairperson at Bubimirambako Village, Buembe Parish, Buyanga sub-county in Busia district, met strong resistance after a man and his family members refused to be counted as the Uganda Bureau of Statistics embarked on the National Population and Housing Census across the country on the 10th of May.
The duo says that on reaching the family of Wanyama Joseph, they were challenged in their line of duty to enumerate these family members. They were left with no option but to reach out to their supervisors to manage the situation.
The father, the lady plus all the children have refused to be counted. So, as an enumerator, I was just surprised if everything and all the family members refuse, I have to transfer the whole that message to my old boss. It's what he even have done. But they refuse, I have to transfer the whole that message to my old boss. It's what he even have done.
The accused stated that their faith does not allow them to be enumerated.
And they are saying this does not match with the biblical arrangement. They quote, say, 1 Chronicles chapter 21 from verse 1, where they say it was a challenge to David when he thought it was wise to look, to sense and find, get the number of the Israelites who would go for war and win the war. In so doing, he's also quoting the very chapter to defend himself not to be counted. That is now, when he's counted, will be falling in the kingdom of Satan. So,
following their objection to be enumerated, police swung into action to have the culprits arrested.
I thought that maybe if we bring them here, plus their leaders, they would maybe accept or have that heart of fearing. But these are very complicated people. So I don't have any option. As I speak now, I'm waiting for the patrol from Busia Central Police Station so that even the Shady here is done with the file. I want to transfer them to Busia CPS so that they can be charged accordingly.
Close to 500 Catholic pilgrims from Nebi Diocese who began the trek to Namgongo early this week have entered the fourth day trekking the journey. This Saturday night, the team, well, that was yesterday night, the team arrived in Chigomba in Chiliadongo district where they will spend a night. And before setting off for today, which is expected, this journey is expected to set them off and drop them off at Kafo. Take a look.
This is a group of 500 pilgrims from Nebi Diocese heading to Namgongo Catholic Shrines for this year's Martyrs' Day celebrations. In a journey kicked off on Tuesday, 9th May 2024, the faithfuls have so far covered 127 kilometers as of this Saturday, May 18th.
I'm working to follow the Christ only. Yes, that's why I decided to follow to foot, not using the motor.
So the experience showed me that with God everything is possible. At first I had fear of moving, but I'm managing it.
As since it's the fourth day today, and things has become a little bit easier.
The young, the old and the disabled all are on one course.
Because, you know, most of the people who are disabled like me, they just think like they are disabled, they cannot do something like the way we are walking. Yeah, even other activity, but I wanted to show them that we also, as the people with disability, we can do something.
Why you see the old, the young, and the lame and the strong one is because of faith.
However, this is a journey full of endurance.
There's a lot of sunshine. That is the challenge we are facing. But still, as a believer, we are trying our best.
Most of them are moving along mountains of prayers.
As you know very well, Namugongo is a prayer point. Most of the people went there just to put their request to God. Me also. I want to go there because I'm lacking something. I want to go and put it to God such that I can succeed. Like if I can say, I have a home, family, let me say family. I have a family, I have 2 children. I'm lacking this capital. I'm lacking where to stay because things are so expensive. I cannot do it like this. That's why I decided to go and to put all those things to God.
I have so many issues, so I want to surrender them to God. That's why I'm walking.
We are moving because of faith, and more especially to celebrate the Eucharist.
And the motto of our diocese is for this one: I and my household, I and my family shall serve the Lord. If you don't want, Sauriak, you can remain. But I for myself and me as Father Becker Charles, I prefer to continue. And my going there is not only just to Namugongo. I'm trying to struggle to go to heaven, which is very difficult, but it's possible. If others can struggle, why not me? Look at Barnabas Kindu struggle went. No, Magali, they went. And many others are going. I want to follow the path.
As you can hear and almost see what is happening here, we are at St. Mary's Church in Chigumba Town Council, where the pilgrims from Nebi Diocese have made their stopover as they spend the Friday night in Weyali. Now they are in Chigumba, where we are being told that they will also spend the Saturday night here before picking up the journey to Namugongo tomorrow morning of Sunday. I'm Robert Onyango for UBC News here in Chigumba. In the name of the Father.
The Joint Staff Engineering Brigadier General Besjebe Kunda has employed combat engineers and explosive experts to maintain discipline and keep upgrading to reach the zenith of their army careers. Brigadier Besjebe made these remarks at the passing of graduates from Combat Engineering and Explosive Ordnance Devices at the School of Combat Engineers, Karama in Mubende District. Take a look.
"255 students from combat engineering level and explosive ordnance devices have completed their training at the School of Combat Engineers, Karama, in Mubende District. The Joint Staff Chief Engineering Brigadier General Besjebe Kunda, who was the chief guest, urged the graduates to maintain the discipline they exhibited during the training whenever they are deployed to live longer.
It is important to train, but it is also crucial to apply those skills. So we expect you, the way you have demonstrated in the exercises there, we hope that you will perform even much better. Most often, students have high discipline in training schools, but when they get out there, they run astray. Please, for you as an individual, you have to maintain discipline. I can assure you, maintain discipline, you will, first of all, live longer, because if you go to those bars and related activities that are there, you know what will end up with you. The little money you earn, you will drink, you will spend it in the bars.
The commandant of the School of Combat Engineers, Colonel Wilson Kabera, thanked the Ministry of Defense and the UPDF strategic leadership for supporting the school, which has gone from one block building to a bombing school.
The UPDF capability, troop readiness and discipline are enshrined in its training values and in our capacity to adapt and counter enemy threats. This is reflected in our vision as a school, which is to train and produce officers and men who will provide solutions to the commander's decision in the field. So the trainees before you have been taken through a comprehensive training in core aspects of combat engineering as follows: organization, rigging, demolition, water supply, mine warfare, booby traps, roads, rafts, watermanship, urban mobility bridging, EOD stroke demining, bridging, utilities, political education, and financial resilience. Explosive theory, EOD tasks management, modern mines, use of explosives, skills at arm, submunitions, search, tactical casualty combat care, guided weapons. As a training school, our objectives have been met, and we believe those.
Course content includes explosive theory, task management, modern mines, use of explosives, skills at arms, political education, drill, financial resilience, and military law, among others. Haruna Mteisasira, UBC News.
The 6th East African Community Aviation Symposium has concluded in Zanzibar with an echoing call for experts to adhere to resolutions. This plea comes after the prolonged implementation of Yamoussoukro Declaration, a landmark agreement signed in 1988 and reaffirmed in 1999, with outlined ambitious goals for aviation infrastructure and services in East Africa.
Zanzibar hosted the 6th East African Community Aviation Conference, a gathering of experts and stakeholders aimed at fostering the aviation sector across the region.
This symposium is a unique platform for all of us to exchange insights and exchange experiences, carving a pathway towards harmonizing our aviation frameworks.
Some of the resolutions that we are going to adopt here will be an action plans that will develop for sustainable way forward.
However, as the symposium drew to a close, it was not celebration of progress that many had hoped for, but rather a sobering reflection on unmet promises regarding the Yamoussoukro Declaration.
When we went to Yamoussoukro, that was way back in 1988, and we came up with a declaration. And then nothing happened, and then 10 years we are going back to the same city.
1999, they went to Yamoussoukro again. They told our presidents, that if you make this a decision, it will be implemented. So the presidents made a decision, YD. They came back home, they told the politicians, the experts, the ministers, this is not the right way to go. It was not implemented.
The delegates highlighted the reasons behind the non-implementation of the Yamoussoukro Declaration.
When we ask those countries having airlines to implement Yamoussoukro decision, they say, oh, we need to protect our airlines.
Do we have political will in our partner states to implement this? If that political will is there, then there should be even a funding mechanism, and there should be ownership, and we should be able to implement this.
Who decides that we do this? The experts, the politician, or who?
The conference also stressed the importance of promoting affordable air travel and enhancing inter-African connectivity.
We are frustrated with the cost of ticket prices in the region. So one of the key outputs of this would be a drop in the average fare levels for the intra-African routes. And then, of course, an increase in Fifth Freedom connections by 30% in 2025. That is the goal. And of course, an increase in intra-African routes and direct city pairs.
Joseph Oko, UBC in Zanzibar.
In more news during the week, the Executive Director of Kampala Capital City Authority, Dorothy Chisaka, has expressed dissatisfaction with the progress of the ongoing projects to upgrade the city's traditional junctions to signalized ones. Launched in October 2022 under the Kampala Smart Traffic Project, the initiative aims to modernize 27 junctions in Kampala from their old style to signalized intersections.
In a bid to solve Kampala's traffic problem, the Kampala Capital City Authority embarked on converting over 27 junctions around the city from the traditional design to signalized ones. With cooperation from the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, the project was launched in October 2022 and commenced last year. However, during her visit to assess the progress of these works, KCCA's Executive Director Dorothy Saka expressed dissatisfaction with the speed of the project.
I am not satisfied with the progress of this work. It is taking too long. It is taking too long. We need quicker results. We have discovered that they are not working at night. So we are saying, let's work out a plan, and they start working at night.
Some roundabouts were found with debris scattered around, which the executive director criticized as not portraying the smart city image.
We've discovered they are piling debris on site. Why are they piling debris on site? Debris should be removed from the sites immediately. We are building a smart city and we are piling debris of what we are working because the site to deliver them debris is too far. That is not acceptable. Our team, our engineering team internally is going to work with the contractor to ensure that all the logistics required for this to take place is done.
78 billion shillings were granted to KCCA to signalize these roundabouts, and about 50% of the funds have already been disbursed. Despite this, the speed of the works remain unsatisfactory.
This work is about 78 billion. This 78 billion is a grant from Japan. It's a gift, not to be repaid back, intended to improve traffic movement in the city. So far, we've paid the contract about 50% of the contract value. The progress is also about 50%, but we believe we can do better than that.
The Deputy Executive Director, David Luimbazi, appealed to the contractors to speed up the project to minimize all the inconveniences imposed on the city's residents.
The junction is supposed to take about between 4 and 6 months, but this particular junction has already taken 4 months. And our worry is that the public is suffering so much with inconveniences they should not be suffering.
Justin Nakami, in Kampala.
Heads of teacher training and medical training institutions in southwestern Uganda have recommended to the government to address critical challenges of inadequate infrastructure, insufficient teaching staff, and poor accommodation if the education sector is to improve robustly. Now, these recommendations were given to the commissioners of the Education Policy Review Commission during the consultative field medical tour in southwestern Uganda to analyze the state of teacher and medical training institutions. Crispus Adinitwe has just returned from southwestern Uganda and filed this report.
On 21st May 2021, Government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Education and Sports, instituted a 12-member commission team headed by the former Education Minister, Honorable Amanya Mushega, to oversee the development of the new macro policy of Uganda's educational system. The commission has concluded a field visit in southwestern Uganda to assess the status of both teacher and medical training institutions and gather recommendations and proposals pivotal in crafting a call to action for an educational renaissance in Uganda.
And we are more interested in what should be done to make education piece and this system better. Don't tell us that everything is okay, full stop. We have been to many parts of Uganda. We started with West Nile as a region, then we went to Karamoja, then we went to Acholi, then we went to Teso. We had earlier done Busoga. Then we did go up country, listen to the teachers, the students, parents, local leaders, religious leaders, all those involved in education. And they gave.
We all want to see our education improved, the quality and relevance improved, and so we hope that our report and the government white paper that will come out of it will lead us to where we want to be, to produce products that will be able to lead to the vision of this country, the transformation from peasantry to modern and prosperous Uganda.
The educational institutions visited include Kabale University, National Teachers College Kabale, Kampala International University Ishaka, Mbara University of Science and Technology, and Bishop Stuart University. staff gaps, persistent power blackouts, and low remittances of funds from the Consolidated Fund, which hamper campus operations. For instance, Kabale University has received only 9 billion Uganda shillings towards infrastructure in the last 7 years, despite collecting approximately 18 billion Uganda shillings over the years, which the government is yet to remit.
Validation for the national religious policy goes on with consultations, from key stakeholders. Government says that all key players in the policy will be consulted before it is considered. Details in this report.
8 years ago, the Ministry of Ethics and Integrity drafted the National Religious and Faith Organization policy. This policy aimed to regulate the activities of faith-based organizations and establish governing body to oversee them, provide guidance, and offer advice when necessary.
The biggest confusion which has been going on, not only here, but all over the country, people think that a policy is a law. People think that a policy is now what is going to dictate the control and whatnot, how they should prepare their sermon and the like. No. The religious policy, I told them, and they understood that a policy is just a mega plan of government to solve a problem in an area, in an institution.
Currently, in the validation phase, the policy emphasizes inclusivity. Officials say all key stakeholders will be consulted before finalization. However, concerns have already surfaced. During a consultation meeting with the young religious leaders organized by the International Center for Religious Advocacy and Development, reservations about the original draft were expressed by many. Prominent pastors like David Chiganda and Michael Chazi attended the meeting, voicing concerns about the policy's redundancy.
Churches are not profit-making entities. They are not there to make money, and it would be a misleading statement and also a view to think that government is not benefiting from churches. Let me start with the tax you're talking about. Every Ugandan contributes in ways of paying tax. Every Uganda pays taxes. The people that are coming to our churches, mosques, and other worship places are taxpayers. They have already paid the taxes at their places of work. When they come to church and give tithe and offering and zakah, they are only contributing to their place of worship to continue to exist.
What is the problem you want to address? The remedy must be very clear, and the intention of the remedy must be very clear. When you read the draft policy of the current draft National Religious and Faith Organizations policy, the mischief is not clear. In their problem statement, they are saying there are 5 core issues they are addressing. But when you read the policy, there is no justification to address those 5 issues by creating a unique policy that addresses them. Morality has been handled by the Penal Code Act. Corruption, there is a whole anti-corruption code that even addresses that. There are a plethora of laws that deal with corruption. When you talk about the issue of lack of accountability, there are various laws that guide us on accountability.
The National Religious and Faith Organization policy remains a work in progress. Whether it will be seen as a necessary reform or an overreach by government remains to be seen. Ngabo Amon, reporting for UBS TV.
In more news, Luwero RDC Richard Boabie Ntulume has called upon all Luwero district residents to respond positively to UBOS census officials and ensure that they get enumerated. Luwero RDC Richard Ntulume has made the call to his Luwero district headquarters office following complaints by some members of the general public that they have waited for UBOS census officials to enumerate them for several days, but it is in vain.
I want to tell them, I want to encourage them that let them not be anxious. We are coming, we are going to reach out to them. Yunan enumeration area is big. has many households, and you cannot serve all the households at once. So I'm only sounding a message to them. Let them be alert anytime we are reaching them. And if they are not at home, they can leave about some kids who are about 15 years old. They can leave them with the information, or they can leave contacts behind and we reach out to them and we draw a program on how and when we shall enumerate them.
We have most residents in their households eagerly waiting for the enumerators to come. However, there were a few challenges, but most of these challenges were related to ICT, which either myself as a supervisor or the enumerator has no control over.
Machines are improving every other day that passes. That's the good side of it. The first day, the number of people we counted was very small. It almost doubled the second day. It tripled the third day. So I think by the end of the 9 days, we would have moved somewhere.
Now, Uganda Cancer Institute has received latest advanced machine for cancer treatment in the region that will handle mild side effects. The state-of-the-art linear accelerator machine has treated more than 680 patients since last year. In an effort to improve cancer treatment services in the country, Uganda Cancer Institute has received latest techniques in treatment of cancer with fewer side effects. The executive director noted that all the machines at the institute are functional and the number of patients waiting for long hours will be a story of the past.
The Uganda Cancer Institute is fully functional, and we have fully functional equipment, and there is no gap in as far as treatment or investigations of patients are concerned. Let me give you a breakdown of the equipment that we have at the Uganda Cancer Institute currently. For radiotherapy, we have 8 machines, and of these, we have 3 state-of-the-art linear accelerator, which is called TrueBeam, and they are functional. 2 cobalt-60 equipments. We have 3 high-dose rate brachytherapy equipment, which is usually used for treatment of cancers that are found in cavities. An example is cancer of the cervix. Actually, most of the patients treated on these equipments are women with cancer of the cervix.
But what we've observed with the new techniques, the side effects are very, very minimal or none at all with the new techniques. And we are really very, very, very happy with that. If we compare ourselves 20 years ago, what used to happen in terms of side effects and of the treatment, we actually don't see people complaining of the side effects of our treatment, like the diarrhea and passing of blood in the rectum.
Over 3,500 new cases of cancer are registered in the country every year, and out of that, only 700 make it to Uganda Cancer Institute.
Already we have very many patients at Uganda Cancer Institute, and we're not reaching the entire population of cancer-affected patients in the country. Now, how we are going about this is there's a deliberate plan by the government and through the Uganda Cancer Institute to create these regional cancer centers. So first, we're expanding the infrastructure here at Mulago from a 149-bed hospital to a 365-bed hospital. And we're also building regional cancer centers. The Gulu Regional Cancer Center is complete. It's expected to open in July of this year. And we also have Mbale. Construction of Mbale funding has been identified. So yes, we have capacity for cancer care, but the capacity we have is not sufficient to tackle all the patients in the country.
Currently, we are handling on a daily basis at the machines. We are handling 242 patients on a daily basis. That is only treatment. whereas for the CT scan, we are scanning 15 to 17 patients daily, Monday to Friday. Okay, and then we also have brachytherapy treatments where we carry out treatments for cancer of the cervix patients from 10 to 12 patients per day.
Uganda Cancer Institute top management has appealed to the government to provide them with means to train more oncologists and recruit more to bridge the gap of overstretched staff. Zahara Abigaba compiled this report. Authorities in Serere District have called on government through the Ministry of Health to elevate Serere Health Centre 4 to a district hospital to attend to the big numbers of local patients flocking the health facility for treatment. According to the district health officer, Dr. Ogwal Daniel, Serere District has 2 main health facilities at the level of Health Centre 4, but with the ever-increasing patient turnover, in addition to limited staffing, there's need to upgrade the facility to a district hospital. Led by Serere County Member of Parliament Emmanuel Omoding for an assessment tour on the health facilities in the district, Serere leaders expressed the need to upgrade Serere Health Centre 4 to a district hospital.
Let's upgrade this health centre 4 into a hospital, so there's a proper service for people. The population is growing, the number of patients.
The most affected area is the children's ward that has 20 beds, with each accommodating 3 patients, as Ikeba Nora, the ward in charge, explains.
I have a mixed up. Even if a child has any infectious conditions, we are subjected to share because we don't have space. The ward is small, the beds are not there.
She revealed that due to high turn-up of patients, she's forced to work for extended hours and requested for the relevant authorities to recruit more staff to relieve her of the overtime burden.
With my age, you begin work at 8 or 9, the day nurse will push up to 8 again in the night. 8 p.m., that's when the night nurse takes over, up to 8 again in the morning. So it has been so tedious to us.
According to Dr. Daniel Ogwal, the Serere District Health Officer, Serere Health Centre 4 registers on average over 4,000 patients that seek treatment a month, in addition to the over 200 mothers that deliver from the facility.
Major factor putting pressure on the patient attendance is high and the health workers are few. So that puts a lot of pressure on the available staff to perform beyond the expectation. If you are supposed to do a duty of, let's say, 8 a.m. to 5, sometimes we do shifts, 8-hour shifts.
I need also to join the team to request government to consider upgrading this hospital, this health center 4 to the level of hospital, so that our people get better service.
Serere County Legislator Emmanuel Omoding, accompanied by a team of medics from Vanguard University of California, highlighted the most wanting areas, among them a theatre and a dental clinic.
I think we can do something good for our theatre and also for the dental clinic. And I'm really privileged today to have a team from Vanguard University. This is overwhelming for them too. You know, we are used to the first class things, but when we come here and see truly how the layman, the wananchi, are going through.
As we've walked the grounds and through the buildings, engaging with patients and their families, our heart is broken, and we hope that we can see improvements in the future.
Vanguard University team donated an assortment of items that included basins, sugar and soap to mothers at the maternity ward. Yiga Muhammad compiled this report.
MTN Moment kutusaka Pussy live in concert kujahazi PM nyonyo mo hip hop kuna rubale Kanga 18 Mei 2024 ena fefe Pussy weekend kama goma rapo na nyina freestyle jangola bomwana wakulu kutebika munganiga sasa liva muchamba misana na chidonga tuli marapu melele booking mtwale bidi vyepi mtwale tano emeza kakande emeza vivya milioni 3 downloading MTN Momo app osaliweke bitulu 5 kubuli 10 ku tiketi woguli ko MTN Momo tiketi egula mtwalo gumo ade VIP ebiri chitundu tulina the boat cruise.
Gear up, grab your running shoes and join the race for life. Run 42, 21 or 5 kilometers to equip Kisoro Hospital's very first ICU. Then, after the finish line, groove all night at the ultimate dance showdown with DJs and performers from Uganda and Kigali. Secure your sport at virungamountainmarathon.org and be a part of history. Save the date, June 1st, 2024 at Shaza Ground, Kisoro Town. Race for a cause. Run for life.
The Uganda Bureau of Statistics would like to remind the general public that the National Population and Housing Census 2024 enumeration exercise, which began on Friday 10th May 2024, will go on until 19th May 2024 at 11:59 p.m. Heads of households that have not been enumerated yet and are normally away during day are encouraged to contact their LC1 chairpersons and give them indications of when best they can be enumerated before the end of the exercise. The public is further informed that the questionnaire is translated in 21 local languages and numerators have been selected in such a manner that they will be able to administer the questionnaire in such a language that the respondent is familiar with. The public is assured that everyone will be counted by the end of the numeration exercise. Census 2024, it matters to be counted. This message is brought to you by Dr. Chris Mukiza, the Executive Director, Uganda Bureau of Statistics, and the Government of Uganda.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. In the business news of the week, Ernst & Young, Uganda's leading auditing and tax assessment firm, has revealed to the media that the implications of the proposed tax amendment bills for the 2024-2025 financial year. Ernst & Young appealed to the business community to stay informed about the legislative changes made by Parliament and the implications they are going to have on their business and the country's economy. Take a look.
Government recently unveiled the national budget of 72 trillion, focusing on fully monetizing the economy through various sectors including agriculture, industrialization, services expansion, digital transformation and market access. Accompanying this ambitious budget are 5 key amendment bills: income tax, value-added tax, excise duty tax procedure code, and the stamp duty bills of 2024.
The auctioneer would not have input VAT since they didn't purchase that asset that they are selling. It was distorting the VAT system. So the amendment that is coming is that to the effect that now the recipient of the proceeds from an auction will be deemed to have made a supply.
The amendments introduce several significant changes. A new 5% income tax on the disposal of non-business assets by both residents and non-residents. Non-business assets covered include shares in private companies, land within cities or municipalities, and rental property.
When I lease my land to Prosper, have I sold? Remember, leasehold, you're not holding it in perpetuity. What would happen if Prosper decides to renew the lease? Would I also be paying tax on the renewal?
The primary objective of the press conference was to keep stakeholders informed about these legislative changes. These tax experts provide detailed insights into the potential effects of the amendments. By providing expert analysis and facilitating dialogue, Ernst & Young aims to assist businesses and individuals in navigating the complexities of the new tax landscape. Wadulo Makanold reporting.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja, Kingdoms of the Moon Rwenzori segment. Who are the people occupying the foothills of the fabled mountains of the moon? What strings them together?
One way of identifying ourselves would be the Rwenzori Mountain,
where the god Happy dwells.
In Uganda, we are called Bakonjo, Bakonzo, Baira. In Congo, we are called Banande.
The Basongora community is a very old community here, Western Uganda and Eastern Congo.
So both Kasese, Toro were part of Nyoro Kitara Kingdom.
We are similar people.
We are one. Use that word, Pamoja.
Premiering Saturday 25th May 2024 from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Ndere Center in Ntinda. To get a ticket, call 0778 787 660. Tuko Pamoja?
From the sports world, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Kataha Museveni, has inaugurated a local organizing committee and 7 subcommittees that are charged with effectively planning and executing a successful Africa Cup of Nations 2027 tournament in Uganda.
In September 2023, the Confederation of African Football awarded hosting rights for the 36th edition of the AFCON 2027 to the East Africa Joint Pamoja bid by Uganda, Kenya and Tanzania. Among what had to be done in the interim was naming a local organizing committee in all the Pamoja nations, a task that has been accomplished for Uganda.
The AFCON 2027 will be a maiden tournament of this magnitude in the history of the 3 partner states since its inception in 1957. Among the requirements of CAF is the establishment of the local organizing committee that will be responsible for organizing the tournament. You, ladies and gentlemen, have been identified based on your reputation as a people we need, with the right attitude and skills set to support us in organizing not only AFCON 2027, but also the CHAN tournament that will be held in September this year. The local organizing committee will play a crucial role in planning, in organizing, and executing various aspects of both the CHAN and the AFCON 2027.
The AFCON 2027 Local Organizing Committee for Uganda is chaired by the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, and deputized by the Minister of State for Sports, Peter Ogwang. It comprises people of vast experience in different fields. These include the FA President, Moses Magogo, National Planning Authority Executive Director, Dr. Joseph Movawala, Sports Commissioner, Reverend Canon Dr. Duncan Mugumya, the Deputy Solicitor General, Pius Biribonoha, and Jacqueline Basemera, who is the Secretary to the Local Organizing Committee.
I want to emphasize the need for teamwork. Once we agree to take on this task, we must be ready to take collective responsibility for our actions or inactions. This calls for us to exercise restraint and put the service of our country above our own interests. We must be transparent in the execution of our duties as we organize these tournaments. And I wish to remind you all that all public resources will be accounted for. I therefore appeal to you to avoid unethical conduct and financial impropriety that will bring a dark cloud over these tournaments that Ugandans are looking forward to enjoying.
Other members of the local organizing committee are those that will be chairing the various subcommittees responsible for specific functional areas. These include Brighton Barugahare for government services, Ambrose Tashebya for infrastructure and facilities, Justus Mugisha heads the sporting arm, Ronnie Kalema is charged with competition organizing, Dr. Bernard Patrick Ogwell in the finance and resource mobilization docket, Rogers Biamukama is in protocol and hospitality, and Dr. Dennis Mujimba for marketing and communication. The State Minister for Sports, Peter Ogwang, acknowledged the First Lady's dedicated leadership and service right from giving guarantees to CAF on behalf of government, mobilizing resources, and close supervision, among others.
The State Minister for Sports, Peter Ogwang, launched and handed over to the Cricket Cranes Uganda's cricket tournament jersey for the 2024 ICC to T20 Men's World Cup in the West Indies and USA last evening at the team's send-off dinner. The Cricket Cranes Uganda's senior men's cricket team will play for the first time at the T20 World Cup this June.
The Cricket Cranes send-off dinner held at Miss Hill Hotel in Nsambya last evening was graced by the State Minister for Sports, Peter Ogwang, who launched the Uganda T20 World Cup jersey as he echoed government's commitment to support the team and welcomed Laika Mobile on board.
On behalf of the government of Uganda, on behalf of the Minister of Education and Sports, who is the First Lady, I want to take this opportunity to officially hand over the Ugandan jersey, which is going to be used the Cricket World Cup in West Indies and USA. I want to promise that we are working around the corner to make sure that we facilitate the national cricket team to participate in the World Cup because it's the role of government. I want to remind you and reiterate our commitment to develop cricket. Number one, we have secured the land, which is in Chambugo University. Number two, we are going to increase the budget from 1.2 billion to 3 billion. Number three, we are now looking for resources to support and fund our national cricket team to go and play for the World Cup in West Indies. The others, I have challenged our players, your underdogs, go and show yourselves and prove yourselves. For the people like my brother here, the moment of truth has come for him to conquer the world as a certified hustler like the minister who is before you here. You lose nothing, you go there to show the world that God gave you one thing, is a talent. I want to welcome Laika Mobile. I don't know how much you can appreciate you. You have come and you're changing the game of cricket in Uganda. I want to pledge on behalf of the government, we will work with you.
Laika Mobile, who are the title partners for the senior cricket teams, reiterated their support for the Cricket Cranes as they head into the World Cup.
The Uganda cricket team has created a milestone. This qualifying for the World Cup and going for the World Cup is something which I really would like to appreciate each one of you who's sitting in this room for having put in your best and reached this level. Cricket is considered as a game of luck. However, when you look at the sport, it is the passion that drives the sport. So I think each one of you, having reached this stage, have that passion inside you to do whatever is required to get the best out of the cricket. And you are going to a forum where you will be recognized as a successful team, having touched that pinnacle for the first time.
The Cricket Cranes team will be taking part in the T20 World Cup for the very first time, and they are in Group C with New Zealand, Afghanistan, Papua New Guinea and hosts West Indies. The team will bowl off their campaign against Afghanistan on 3rd June, but before the main event, the team will have trial games against Namibia and Scotland, respectively. Grace Joyce Kyomugisha, UBC News.
Well, thank you so much for watching UBC News Weekly Roundup today, the 19th of May, 2024. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. Have a good afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.